Okay, folks. Now, in our last video, we talked about the natural minor scale. We are going to learn about a different type of minor scale. Now, we're going to learn about the harmonic minor scale. And it's called the harmonic minor scale because when we're learning about triads and we're learning about the way that harmonies traditionally progress, we're going to see that this type of minor scale is used pretty often. There's going to be a certain tone in here that is going to lend itself very much to the type of harmony that we're used to hearing in Western art music. So that might be why this is called the harmonic minor scale. In any case, let's do some work with sharps because I've been really favoring the flats and that's just not fair. So what we are going to do is, like this one. We can figure out our major key if we would like to by saying, okay, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. If we go from G sharp up a half step, because that is our T, that would be A major. But now we want to go La, Ti, Do, or Do, Ti, La, sorry. Do, Ti, La, and we have F sharp minor. Now in our last video, we talked about the fact that if we have a key signature involved, we can just write a natural minor scale. F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. And we don't have to do anything to alter anything. It's just, there it is. There's our natural minor scale. And if we compare, F sharp major to F sharp minor, we have all the things altered that need to be altered in order to make a natural minor scale. That means we lower the third, the sixth, and the seventh scale degree to get do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do. Wonderful. Well, this is harmonic minor, and harmonic minor is going to be a little bit different. So in harmonic minor, let me go ahead and sing a natural minor scale for you, and then I will let you in on the difference between natural and harmonic minor. So this is not going to be pitch perfect because I'm not starting on an F sharp. Here it is. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So we have our lowered third, our lowered sixth, and our lowered seventh scale degree. So 3, 6, and 7. Wonderful. Now, with a harmonic minor scale, it's going to sound very different. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. The big difference between the natural minor scale and the harmonic minor scale is that instead of having a lowered seventh, instead of it being te, it's going to be T. So our key signature is telling us we have a te in the key signature. We have nothing. And what we can't do is just say, well, we're in harmonic minor. Let's just add an E sharp. It just doesn't work like that because we didn't go in the order of sharps and we just can't. We have to use it as an accidental. Oops, not my eraser, not what I wanted. So in order to raise that seventh back up and make it T instead of te, we actually have to take E natural and we have to make it E sharp. So that's going to be our big change between harmonic and melodic minor, harmonic and natural minor. There we go. I just gave away our next video, which is melodic minor. But harmonic minor is going to have an altered seventh scale degree. Now, if I'm like being a real theorist and saying you get nothing, you get no key signature, you have to create it on your own. Okay, let's do it. I bet we can. How about a G harmonic minor scale? G harmonic minor. So we are going to base this off of G. I'm going to try and do it right because we're in, bass clef. and actually start on G for once. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, we could try to determine the key signature for G minor, for G natural minor, and then go from there. There's a bunch of different ways to potentially do this. We could say, no, I'll just take this and I know that I'm going to have a lowered third, and I'm going to have a lowered sixth and a raised seventh. And so that's going to give me what I need. So I know that I'm going to put B flat and E flat in the key signature, and now I have G harmonic minor. That is one way of doing it. You can also just figure out what the key signature is and then alter the seventh tone if you would like to. So let's do an example of that. Let's pick another key signature. Let's do D harmonic minor. So what we can do there is say, okay, if I know D, D's right here, and I know I can go, how do I figure out what the key signature for D harmonic minor is going to be? What do I do? How do I figure that out? Right? There's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You could say, okay, I could do order of sharps, or I could try and find the relative major. That would work too. So if D harmonic minor is the La 1, 2, does that work? Is that what I want? Is it La, Te, Do? Let's try that. That could be the way to do it. So what if I do the key signature then for F major? And then let's base a D scale, a D minor scale off of that. Let's try that and see what happens. We get Do, Re, Fa. Sorry, we're going up into the ledger lines, everybody. We're going to be okay. But let's see, we have 1, 2, we have a lowered third scale degree from D major, so that's right. 5, we have a lowered sixth scale degree as well. We also have a lowered seventh scale degree. Okay, so we figured out the key signature for D harmonic minor correctly. We know we just have a B flat. Now, because we're trying to make harmonic minor, we need to alter that seventh scale degree, and we need to make it sharp because we need a half step between the seventh scale degree and the eighth scale degree. Now, the other thing that a lot of people notice is this big jump in between the sixth and seventh scale degree. If I were to sing it without the altered, there we go. If I were to sing it without the alteration, we would have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And we just have, some whole steps together over here. Isn't that great? We have whole step, and that's fine. But what we have in the harmonic minor scale is we end up having this half step in between 7 and 8. And when we do that, it creates something that is more than a whole step apart. So if we look at what we have here, we have B flat and we have C sharp. Let's scoot down to the piano keyboard. So B flat is here, and then we have C sharp. So our half step would be from B flat to C flat. And then we have B flat to C natural. We have a whole step. So we have more than a whole step. We have 1.5 steps in between our 6th and 7th scale degree, which is one of the things that gives harmonic minor its characteristic sound that makes it different than everything else. So there's a couple of different ways to check and make sure whether or not you've written a harmonic minor scale or not. You're gonna probably, one of the easiest things to look for is the half step in between T and Do, which, you know, is not going to happen in a natural minor scale. Let's do one more just for giggles. Just get a little bit of practice. And I'm not going to give the key signature just because that's likely what's going to end up happening on like most tests or quizzes. So let's make a harmonic scale, a harmonic minor scale out of, what do we want to do? How about A? Let's do A harmonic minor. Okay, now with A harmonic minor, let's do this one. Let's do the lower ledger lines. We sort of neglect our lower ledger lines sometimes. As a violin player and an alto most of the time in a lot of choirs, I read a lot of ledger lines on the bottom. But as a flute player, I also read a lot of ledger lines on the top. So, but I don't like to see the lower ones get ignored as often as they do. All right, now we've got an A to A scale. We can just try to create it based off of what we know to be true about the scale degrees. But honestly, I did that first last time. So let's actually just do the work of trying to determine the key signature. So if we were to go La, Ti, Do, we know that we're actually going to have the key signature for C major. No sharps, no flats. Great. So what we have written right now is actually an A natural minor scale. So we're going to have a lowered third from our typical A major scale. We're going to have a lowered sixth. And right now we have a lowered seventh. What we want to do is make a raised seventh, because right now we have a whole step in between our seventh and eighth scale degree. But what we want instead is a half step. In order to do that, we got to raise up our seventh scale degree. So instead of G natural, we're going to put G sharp. So we have just made an A harmonic minor scale.